So they are dead. They are straight up dead. They have been disintegrated by those bullets. They were squashed into multiple different, like, chunks of meat. But, no, they come back later. Somehow. Maybe they're like cats or squirrels who have multiple lives. And I'm hearing odd noises outside. Not like bullets, but some kind of weird loud taps. I would love some of the dough. I love pizza. Cash prizes. No, that was a terrible impression. I like how here you can listen to the same music with bee noises. Scales! Not squirrels, but scales. They have great accents. I like their voices. And another cutscene, right out of the blue. Just another cutscene after another cutscene after another cutscene. Custard. Custard stream.
You need manual. Otherwise, doesn't work.
Manuel? Relay information.
How much? Got any Mepsipox?
Yeah, Mepsipox. It's weirdly subtle. It shouldn't be subtle, but that's Pepsi Max, with the P and the M switched. Which I would never have guessed on my own. But after learning about that, it's like, oh, that's actually really obvious. How did I not see that?
Get me out of here! Hey, you! Come here! Come on! I want to go back in
I need to stretch my hand because, holding a Nintendo 64 controller for like 5 hours, not always the prettiest thing, even though I still like this controller. Oh, and here's the overly long instruction book explanation, which I don't think can be skipped. It says that you can skip it, but maybe that's just for the second time that you do it. More complex zone. It's not that complicated,
if
though.
you need it again, then press L and B at the same time. To skip it, just press B.
Yeah, I'm pressing B, but it's not skipping, so that must be just for whenever you want it again.
Control stick to aim, and Z button to fire.
This game has a variety of different control schemes throughout, which is one of the things that I appreciate about it. It's not just one style of gameplay the whole time. It keeps changing constantly. So sometimes it is like a first-person shooter, sometimes it is a platformer, and then, like, even the platforming changes dramatically from one part of the game to the next. Like, in a lot of ways, I feel like, well, this game just it's overflowing with personality. From the gameplay to everything else. And that's kind of a goal that I have with my own projects. I would like to have games that overflow with personality and aren't just the same thing for the whole game. Because some games are like that. It's just one mechanic that's used without much change the whole time.
Or that way. That way smells a bit ooey.
Like, I don't know what it would a good example be, but I'm sure there are plenty. Just I could have gone the Pooey way, and Conker would have said, "Oh, well, I can't come here because it's not 10 o'clock yet. The door isn't open." But I'll ignore that, I guess. Here's the professor, very closely analyzing the blueprints of the table. Like, okay, so he drew the table on the blueprints and didn't notice the gap, despite labeling the gap on the blueprints. And now he's just noticing. Also, whenever he says, "when my teddies are ready," his voice gets totally drowned out by the music. He doesn't say, "when my teddies are ready," he says, "when my teddies..." Like that one Animal Crossing character, whoever the tired-looking dog cop is, always trails off at the end of sentences. or Ron Delight.
Say, little fella, you better get this fat-ass bitch off of my back pronto.
Gee, so many people around here want me to solve their problems.
Hey, doesn't Dodge Prano sound like a kind of car?
I'll tell you what I'm gonna do. I tell you what I'm gonna do. You get rid of that.
That is a reference. I didn't come up with that myself.
And maybe I'll help you out.
Not that it makes any sense out of context.
Oh, just one more thing. I say, just one more thing. You might run into my friend Bert. Just mention my name, Jack, and everything will be just dandy.
Okay, thanks, Foghorn Leghorn. I'm gonna try to speed run by jumping over this fence to get to where I need to go faster. Now, if you climb up here and onto a... I can show that later, I guess. It doesn't have to be right now.
Hi, you must be Bert.
I'm Bert.
I'm Bert.
Jack sent me.
I'm opening the gate
Bertner.
here, and you can get on with what is ever that you're trying to do.
You gotta love these voices.
That's all you do? Great.
This was the great moment in Nintendo Capri Sun's playthrough of this game, his blind run, where he talked to the characters who were being frustrated by the mouse. The gate is opened up to all the cheese, and then he wasn't sure what to do next, and so all the comments were just, "You have to give the cheese to the mouse!" That was like every single comment. And, of course, it became a running joke for the next several videos. That was a good playthrough to watch. A lot of people were very frustrated by it because it was his first time playing, he didn't know what to do, and sometimes, whenever you're Let's Playing something, you know, it makes it even harder to figure stuff out. And because whenever you're playing something as a Let's Play, instead of just playing it on your own, it seems like everything takes longer because you have to commentate and people are watching. Like that whole Mike Mulligan and the Steam Shovel thing, where they say, or where he says, like the philosophy of that book slash program of the book being animated, like Mike Mulligan and the Steam Shovel work better when when people are watching them, but that's like the opposite of how I am, and I'm sure I've talked about that in a video before, but it's just still relevant. I do feel like I'm better with things when people have feedback for me, and I know that people are going to see it, but whenever I'm actually in the middle of doing something, I like to be on my own.
Marvelous!
Marvelous! Marvelous! Don't know how to make that voice. Is marvelous usually spelled with 2 L's? I don't think it is. There are a lot of things that might be British or might be misspelled in this game. I'm not sure. There are a lot of word balloons, word bubbles that that kind of miss words that are being said by the characters in audio, which is a little bit odd. Which I believe is fixed in Conker's Live and Reloaded, but the thing about that game is, for one thing, all the swear words are censored, like every single one of them, and not just a few of them, like in this version. And the other thing about it is, it's like really realistic looking, or at least by the standards of when it was made. Conker has all this fuzzy fur, and the environments are more detailed, and it doesn't look as cartoony anymore. Which doesn't fit as well with this kind of Looney Tunes-esque game.
Oh no! I think I've had too much!
There's a better contrast with stuff like this when it looks really cartoony. One thing that I could have mentioned is when the mouse is still alive and you run into one of his burp fumes, or fart fumes, then Conker throws up. Just a little Easter egg. Pleasant Easter egg.
Thank you very much, Mr. Squirrel.
Mr. Skull?
There's something real neat inside that barn. You just gotta get in there, Sonny.
Thanks, yo. And then he just squishes. He sits down, you know, like Bob the Tomato. This is sitting, this is standing. I am standing. if I had gone the Pooh way first, the Winnie the Pooh way first, because this is the 100-acre wood. I got a 100-acre wood playing this game. Whenever he says that it's not 10 o'clock yet, after you get this money, there will be an additional cutscene where he pulls out his pocket watch like the rabbit, the white rabbit in Alice in Wonderland. And he says, "Oh, it's 10 o'clock. You know what that means," or something like that. I don't know the exact lines. Fall damage from falling like a quarter of an inch. Looking around. Make sure nobody's looking. Gonna slide in. Just gonna slide.
Hey, you over there.
Pancake mines.
Yeah, you. Apparently there's something real neat inside this barn. I can't quite see it myself. Unless, of course, some guy's jumping around stinking a horse poo's real neat. Which, of course,
Speaking of which, where are the horses? I see no horses.
This is pretty.
There are cows later in the game, but no horses. Oh no! And then that just slides through the part of the door that doesn't have a hole in it, so nothing can slide through. I don't know what that's called, but like the barricade thing.
Is it his turn?
Yeah, I think...
These characters are also great.
Go kick his ass. Go kick his ass.
I ain't kicking it, but it's always my turn to kick their asses. First, just get over there and kick his ass, thank you for sake.
Yeah,
Vic's Up on a Bus has played a game. Well, he also played this, but he played a game, or like a Zelda quest, Zelda classic quest called Mega Man Dr. Wily's Revenge, which is not the actual game, also called Mega Man Dr. Wily's Revenge. But there's a part in that game where there are these two guards who are talking about, "Hey, you go kick his butt. No, you go kick his butt." And the voices that Bic Dip used for those characters when reading those lines are like almost exactly the same as his paint bucket and paintbrush. And that was before he played Conker, so I find it just like a fascinating, similar scene.
Therefore, I conclude that I was
What the heck's he moaning about?
all around this barn like there's no tomorrow.
I know, I'm talking over the fun lines. Here's a great one.
Were your parents related, like before they were married?
Right, that's it. I was just gonna give
I always interpreted the Pitchfork's line afterwards. Like, I thought that he was kind of surprised by the line, not in the sense that it was offensive to him, but like he didn't get the joke. But, I think he actually knows what he means. So, that's just me being silly. Come on over here, Frankie. Because they were saying his name was Frankie. With a Y, not with an I-E. Let's just point that out. There are two characters named Frankie in this game. One of them is much less significant, but has an I-E instead. There you are, Frankie. Also worth pointing out, Conker has never been told Frankie's name. Yeah, I'm playing hard to get, or whatever he's saying. Another fun little detail of this game, whenever the hay bales are destroyed, their eyeballs fly everywhere. And you can kick them and squish them whenever you run into them. And they also look at you.
This crappiest this kick-ass I've ever seen.
Now, so Marvelous had two L's and Crappiest has one P. Makes sense.
Bastard, stupid bastard. Isn't he? Yeah.
Yeah, he sure is. So, what are you gonna do now? Kill yourself? Because that's what I recommend.
I would say that this game just took a turn for the dark, but
Yeah, we got a rope.
it's not like it hasn't been edgy up until now.
In that case, I is gonna kill myself. I'm gonna kill myself right now. That's all there is to it. You.
Yeah, this game censors the F word and sometimes the S word, but nothing else.
What are you doing? You stupid bastard.
What is that wheezing? I guess I wheezed earlier, so I can't talk.
You stupid bastard ain't gonna neck, are you?
Hey Mario, look what I made.
Okay. I don't believe this. I don't appear to have a neck of any description.
In fact, I even got an esophagus.
Esophagus, yes. Spelled with an O at the beginning. This is where I learned that esophagus has another spelling besides just starting with an E. With the eyes following me. One thing I would just like to randomly point out, there's nothing up there. You see up there, where that wooden door is? Nothing up there. You know how there's just nothing up there? Let me say again, there's nothing up there? Oh, well, that's about to change. Well, the switch that was inactive until now for some reason, and now there's a bee. Actually, many bees. I got many bees in my classes. Probably. And he also wasn't there. I didn't look this way, but... yeah, just trust me on that.